Hey folks, welcome back to Dan's Auto Diagnostics and Repair. As you can see behind me, I have a pressure washer, and you might be familiar with that because I did do another video on this where I freed up the valve inside. Well, it finally happened again, and we already know what it is because I've done it since then once, and just putting a band-aid on it, it's not working. I want it to be reliable, so we're gonna have to fix it right. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this valve cover off, take the head off, and see what that valve looks like, and grind it down, free it up, get a new valve guide. I don't know, we'll see, but we got to get the head off and go from there. All right, first we got to take the valve cover off here. Now, as you can see, I got her on the bench here. I got her strapped down so she don't fall off, and I got a block here so that it's tilted up to the back so I'm not spilling oil out of here. I'm gonna try to do it without a big oil spill and without taking out the oil, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, we're to the valves here. I'm just gonna take the rocker arms off. Very easy. Just a little pin. I'll take them both off. And then to take the valves off, you can just press them with your fingers. And then slide it to the side. And then that'll come right off. You can see that little slot in there. Very easy. Now you can see the difference here. That comes in and out nice and easy. This one, it's stuck. I'm pushing on that pretty good. And that is seized in there. So that's why we're going to take this head off. See what's going on. Taking off the air box here, the filter. Come on, get out of there. Take that off. Looks like that takes the whole carb off. Let's see what's going on here. Uh-oh. Heard a gasket fall. Yeah, there it is. Feels like I got some actuating arms and stuff on there. Wow, you can't just take the cover off. Those bolts take the whole carb off and everything. So here we are. That's kind of weird. Never seen that before. Got to take the whole carb off. Wow, never seen that before either. Look at that. It looks like, almost looks like somebody did a homemade gasket deal. Look at that. I don't know. She was reliable though. I'll probably clean that up, seeing as we got it all off of there. There's another gasket. Sure, that went in between the carb and the motor there. If you look at this gasket here and this little spacer, they don't quite match up, so maybe it was only this between the carb and the motor, and this went on this side. Yeah, that's the one that fell out when we took the bolts out. So that's that there. Too bad I couldn't get a good look at it. You can also tell that there's a little chamfer there. to direct fuel in. So, well, hopefully we get all that right. Alright, let's get off this fuel line. Come on, guy. Don't be stubborn. Oh, what's going on here? Alright, there's that. Yeah, there's that. Alright, clamped off. Good to go. Now let's get that photo. I always want to take photos of how these actuating arms go, so you can put them right back where they were. Alright, that's good there. Alright, there's the carb. We'll clean that up, blow everything out, and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. That way we have no future problems. But yeah, this has been running good. There's no trouble here. Look at that. Appears to be another gasket. It's on there pretty good, so I'm not going to take it off, but man, how many gaskets do you need? Alright, let's take off the top. Get after the rewind here. Take that back. Guess I don't need to take this fuel cap off. Just kind of let that hang out of the way. So now she's looking like that. Now, get after this exhaust shield. Now my big head was in your way, but very important for me to see. Even though you guys are important to me, it's more important that I see what I'm doing. Alright, now we're going to get this muffler off. I'm going to pay attention to screw length and position. I think I'll just leave these in there like that and try to clean all that out later. Alright, that's what we're left with. Our coil here, probably clean up the rotor there. Yeah, we'll clean it up while we're in here, that's for sure. It didn't look bad though, and she was very reliable. Alright, let's see, we see any head bolts? I'll get this plug out. Yeah, looks good. Holy crap, folks. I don't see any head bolts. It looks like this is a solid piece. This is a whole solid casting. And there's the where you have to take apart half the motor just to get this piece off. And then the piston will slide off of the crank somehow. But you'd have to take this whole motor apart just to get at this valve and do anything with it. That is ridiculous. Wow. I'll have to take off the whole motor from the platform, flip it upside down, because it looks like the screws come from the bottom and up into there. Yeah, here they are. So screws like that all the way around. This thing just breaks completely in half. You see all the sealant. Oh man, this is crazy. As you can see, I clipped the hose here, but there's actually a valve. So I shut that off, and then now I'm going to move the clamp to here and just take that free from the motor. Alright, got it clamped. Got my hose separator. There we go. Now that's free. Honestly, folks, with all the work that is involved in doing this, I'm not sure if it's worth it. If it was a customer and not my own pressure washer, I most certainly would tell them, just go buy you a new one, because I'm going to charge more for my labor to do this job than it would be to buy a whole new one. So that's that. We'll see how far I go. I just did a video on this pressure washer, so I have it. There's no reason for me to go through all this when I have this running very good. Alright, we'll think about it. I don't know. I may not do it. I got her laying down now. Now I got to take the pump off. Whoa. Take that free. I think I got oil spewing somewhere. Oh yeah, for sure. There's the pump. Alright, let's take this plate away. Let's see how we crack this thing in half. I think I'm going to drain the oil at this point. Just letting it drain right out of the valve cover. Leave that in there a little while. and then just start taking these bolts off. Before I go any further with that, I'm going to take a real good look around and see if there's something else I need to take off before I do that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Got a little spring here for the governor. We'll take that off the governor side. This should pull away. I know you can't see it. Well, let me pull it out. I got the electronics. The on and off switch rather. I'm just going to pull that right off the coil. That grounds it out so there's no spark, and boom, it comes right off. Put these screws back in so we don't lose them. I'm still not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing this whole deal. Just rolling with the punches for now. Pure curiosity at this point. Two bolts under the motor. The governor actuating lever's in the way. I'm going to have to get a wrench. 10mm. I don't want to take the governor lever off for now. Extra step, and it's probably clocked pretty good now. I could take a mark here and mark exactly where it's setting and be fine, but yeah, we'll try to do it without it. Well, that looks like all of the bolts. Looks like we got a prying area right here. So we're gonna get the pry bar and pry that. So when you got two pieces of metal like that, that's typically a prying tab. You don't want to be putting your screwdriver, taking a screwdriver and a hammer to where they go together, the two halves of the motor go together, because you will ruin some stuff. Use the prying tabs. Make sure I got everything here. I may not. I might just have to take this rotor off. Magneto or whatever it is. I'm going to do that. Alright, there's that. Looks like it's coming apart. And there it is. There's that half. There's the governor in there. There's your little timing belt, connecting rod. So I'm going to have to take these off now, pull that piston out of there, and get to that valve. The bench was getting a little messy, so I cleaned it off. Now here we are. We got to take this connecting rod off. Take that loose, that's 10 millimeter. No bearing in there, just the cap, I guess. Alright, now let me make sure that I don't mess the timing up here. I want to make some marks, or see some marks. Alright, I see how this goes now. There's a little triangle, little mark right there on the crankshaft, and it lines up. Let's see if I can show it to you. That's the little mark. It lines up with the piston sleeve right there. And when that's all lined up, there's these two flat marks. I'll put my thumb, see that little flat mark right there? And that flat mark, those got to be flat with the head surface right here. So that's how you line that timing up. Now that I know that, let's start disassembling it. Trying to get this piston out of the way. There we go. There's the crankshaft. Now we're going to pull the piston out. And we got to remember which direction this is going in. Alright. Now we can get to the valve. Well, there's our valve down in there. Let's take it out. Boy, she's stuck. And there she is. She don't look horrible. She looks pretty good. I just need to clean up all this because I think she's sticking down here. So I'm going to clean this all up, wire wheel it real good. Maybe fix this one, no parts required. Valve guides don't look too bad. Alright, I'm going to clean this valve up. Alright, I got her cleaned up pretty good. Feels smooth. Before I could feel a little ledge right there where it was getting hung up. But now she's nice and smooth. And now, seeing as I got it broken down this far, I'm going to go ahead and lap these valves. So I got a couple of tubes here, grinding compound. I have coarse and fine, and I guess I bought this quite a while ago, still in a package. I think I'm going to go use these, lap these valves, and then throw this thing back together. There's the intake valve. Don't look too bad. I'm going to go ahead and take this cam gear out of the way. All you do is you pull this pin, pull that pin out, and this will come out along with the timing belt. I'm going to set that aside while I lap these valves. One thing I noticed is I don't see any valve seal here. Now on the intake we had a valve seal. The exhaust, no valve seal. So that's a problem. So we got the intake valve. Slides in real nice. Exhaust, can't even push it in. So I've already taken the wire wheel to the end here. I think I'm going to end up having to drill this out a little bit. Alright, time to get out the calipers. I don't know if you can see that. About 2.12, a little over 2.12 thousandths. Well, I need a drill bit that's 0.212 thousandths of an inch, but I don't have it. The only one I have is like 8 thousandths bigger, and I don't want to go that big. So I'm going to try to take some sandpaper in there with maybe a smaller drill bit and see how that works. Alright, got this little piece of sandpaper on there. No, that's not working too good. Let me get a piece of tape on there, I guess. Alright, that's working. Now where did I put the valve? That was a lot better. Let me do a little more here. I don't want to go too much. Keep losing the valve. That's not bad. Getting there. We have to grind that a little more. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Excellent. All right, now for the lapping. I'm going to start with the chorus. Just going to put a little, not a lot. Oop. That was a little more than I wanted to put on there. Now we're going to put it back in the head here. Which is kind of difficult. I can barely fit my hand in there. Alright, I got it in there. Now I'm going to attach the drill to it. You can see that. And I'm just going to go in and out. I'm just going to touch it. I can feel it grinding. I'm just pulling it against that valve seat. Now some people use a vacuum line to put at the end of the valve so they don't mess it up, but I'm not too worried about it. That's good with this coarse. Now I'm going to move on to the fine. And I'm going to do the same thing. What a ridiculous design. There's that lapping compound. I'm just going to wipe that off. Put on the fine. Rinse and repeat. Now you can see the shiny part on there, kind of shiny. That's where the valve is going to seal. The valves have lapped. I don't know if you can really see. It's kind of shiny on the outside there, but that's all done. Stupid design. That's ridiculous. This head should be able to come off, not take the whole motor apart. Ridiculous. Alright, time to assemble. Alright, I'm getting this thing back together now. And we got the timing all lined up. We got the arrow lining up with the little mark on the cylinder sleeve. And then we got these two marks level with the cylinder head there. So timing's set. Time to glue these things together. Just got to get me some timing chain cover sealant. We still got some left from the tourist job we did the water pump on. So we'll use that. I already cleaned the surfaces. They're nice. So that's the next step. Alright, we got our gasket sealer here. Put that on there. The two halves are together again. We're all married up. Gasket sealer's on. The only thing I really didn't like was this main seal under here. It had that little spring hanging out of it. I fixed it and put it back on. It seemed to go good, but now it's a little sus. Hopefully we don't have any leaks there, but wouldn't be surprised if I did. Alright, let's continue building it. Let's see if those valves are working good. Alright, both of them going down and coming all the way up. Nobody's sticking. Alright, excellent. Look at this shaft. Here's the keyway for it. That's the key. Goes in there like that. Notice how large. It's like it's been, let me focus on that. It's like it's been hitting and just edging it out. Wow, that's a lot of wearing. You look on the pump. Look on the pump side. And this key is nowhere near as big as that keyway. Lots of play in there. Wow. Like it's been moving around. Pump good though. This is going to be a no parts required, so we're just going to leave it. Houston, we have a problem. I don't know where that keyway went, or the key for this keyway. That is not good. That might be a part we have to purchase. I know Harbor Freight's got like a box of them. I might have to go get an assortment of keys. It's not in the magneto here. I don't know what would have happened to it. I don't remember it coming out anywhere. Not good. I'm going to use this pressure washer I just fixed to clean up this pressure washer. Haha, found it. I remember I was disassembling it in the oil pan. So yeah, that's where I found it. Now we can put this together. That keyway goes right in there. Just like that. I know sometimes I say key when I mean keyway and keyway when I mean key. Just like sometimes I'll say float bowl. When we're talking about a carburetor, I'll say float bowl, and I meant the float. You know, it's, I don't know. Little glitch, I guess. We got the base together, and we got as much as that I want to put together before I put it on the base. So that's the next step. Let's bolt her up. She's back on the bench now. I got the exhaust on, plug on, valve cover, carburetor, all them crazy seals, and then your on and off switch with the choke lever and the governor arm there. Just got to put on the top there with the gas tank and put on the rewind and put oil in it. I really wasn't gonna do this, but I figure what the heck, do it for the people, right? So here we are. All right, oil's going in. Almost there. There we go, all filled up. All right, she got the oil in there, choke's on. Just gonna pull her a couple times real slow. Oh, real slow she's wanting to fire. Alright, let's let her have it. Alright, let's hook her up to some water. Alright, water's going. Assuming she's gonna run. She's gonna smoke for a little while, but then she'll clear up. Once she cleared up quick, Well, I just got done pressure washing the work van here, and she done a great job. Hopefully she'll give us many more years of good service. But that's going to be it for now. If you like that one, please like and subscribe. I think we're up to 412, 413. So that's a good amount of subscribers. We're still looking for that 500. So keep helping me out. I appreciate it. And get others to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.